Yeah, it's the rap Diablo. Macho when I drop flows. The bar gets raised up. It's me and Petey Pablo.
Boom. What's good? What's good? Welcome to another episode of SNS Sports and Spoilers. We're back again. Another pod. It's time to go down, get live, do whatever. You know what I'm saying? Get loose. All of it. Now look, last week we talked about Scottie Pippen. We talked a lot about Scottie Pippen and his memory. Okay? And how he likes to change his mind back and forth, okay? Because we remember, we went back, we read quotes from going back as far as like 2012 or 11, something like that. I don't have those notes in front of me, and my memory is not as impeccable as it should be, or I'd want it to be. But hey, we all have things that, you know what I'm saying, we gotta deal with, right? That's one of mine. My memory is not phenomenal. But anyway, we talked about that. We talked about how that reminded me a little bit of a character on the show The Flash, right? Different personalities of the same person, whatever the fuck, right? This episode, we even called it Flash Jordan, which I thought was kind of creative and catchy. But whatever. I don't mean nothing. I don't mean nothing. Okay, this episode 4, okay, Quattro. I can't roll my Quattro. That was terrible. I'm sorry. But anyway, this episode is going to be a little different. It's not about that, obviously, right? We'll do the two on the same thing. If you remember in the beginning, we talked about the Punisher in the very first episode. Today will talk more about the Punisher, but not first. First, what we're going to discuss is competition. Okay. Now, if you look behind me, okay, you see that on the wall. You see the Eagles, right? Of course, you see the Spurs, and in the middle, it's like, what is that? If you look closely, it is the letter T, right? Because I was being extra. Yes, my favorite college team, college basketball. I don't really do a lot of college football. The North Carolina Tar Heels. Oh, how are you an Eagles fan, a Spurs fan, and a Tar Heel fan? Well, there's a very simple explanation for this. I was born in Philadelphia, okay? Football in my household is everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, even mom gets into it. It's been like that forever. So being an Eagles fan was second nature. You know what I'm saying? It's in the blood to be an Eagles fan. But with basketball, it was not like that. And although I was born in Philly, I was mostly raised in San Antonio, Texas. Okay, so, and I didn't watch or like basketball like that when I was young. It wasn't until I got older that I started getting into basketball. And so I'm in San Antonio at that time. I fucked with the Spurs, and it's been the Spurs ever since. I'm a very loyal fan. I'm not going to flip, flop, skip, dip, whatever, jump shit, motherfucker. I don't do that. Okay. Now, when it comes to the Tar Heels, this one it's a little silly, but I don't give a fuck because it's been the same. It's been consistent. When I was little, I loved Michael Jordan. Right, that was the only basketball player that I did care about was Michael Jordan. He used to use Jordan. Right. I love the Space Jam movie. It was actually in the Space Jam movie when he sent, I think it was Bugs and Daffy to retrieve his gear from his house so he could practice and play with the team. That I discovered that he went to North Carolina, and I was like, oh. So just ever since then, because I still love Jordan, he's the greatest player of all time. He's that guy, favorite player of all time. That's not a Spur, is Michael Jordan. And I kind of latched on to North Carolina as a child because of Space Jam and Michael Jordan. And I wanted to go to North Carolina growing up. I did not. I didn't go to college at all. actually, but that's basically how that came about. So naturally, just the Tar Heel basketball and all that stuff. I've just been a fan for years and years. It's been, over a decade. I'm 30. Yes, of course. You already know the coffee cup is going to make an appearance. Um, so yeah, that is the way that I've established my loyalties to the teams that I am loyal to. Okay. Now, with that being said, I will continue. That tea back there for the Tar Heels from when we won the championship not too long ago. Okay, I was getting the Sports Illustrated sent to my house around that time, and I took some of the pictures out of there. You know what I'm saying? That issue from when we won the championship, and I made it into that. You know what I'm saying? To put on my wall. I like it. That's all that matters. Um, but we played Duke recently on Wednesday, a few days ago, right? 5 days ago at this point. It's Sunday when I'm recording this. So just this week, first matchup of the season against rival Duke. I hate Duke. My brother is a Duke fan. We've had many arguments and shit talking, sparring sessions over the years. It gets actually kind of fun sometimes. Sometimes he's a little annoying, you know what I'm saying? Because he's a Duke fan. What can I say? Duke fans are annoying. Um, Zion Williamson uh, hurt himself early, right? First 30 seconds of the game or whatever. And then it sparked a debate about whether he should play or not. Now, I'm not going to spend too much time on him per se. This is just about the overarching issue of athletes in college and whether they should sit out versus play. And it's like, you remember when you first started playing basketball or football, if you've ever played a sport, volleyball, hockey, baseball, right? You got out there and you played, and like maybe you didn't love it at first, but when you first started loving it, you started loving it because competition. It's fun to play against people, get better, hone your craft. You know what I'm saying? You see the incremental improvements as you continue to work on things, and then you get out there and you show your stuff against other people, and you want to win. You're a competitor. You know what I'm saying? Like, I play games and stream too, and I play games. I play to win. Okay. There's this term that's used called try hard, and I just don't understand it because why wouldn't you try to win? Of course you should try to win. You don't play a game to lose. Oh, it's just a game. Have fun. What's fun to me when playing the game is winning, okay? The object of said game is to win. That's the object of the game. So like it's a very simple connection for me. I don't understand anyone who thinks otherwise. Oh, we lost. No biggie. No. Hey, we need to do better. Get it together. I want to win. All right. So, um, but you love it because you love the competition. You love to compete. I love to compete, right? I would want to race all the time. I used to love to race, be enamored with speed. I was the fastest brother in my family and all that stuff. I always wanted to race my brothers because I like to compete. It's fun. It's the love of it. I don't understand talking about don't play. Look, the issue of college and whether they should be paying these athletes, that is a separate issue. I do think they should be paying the athletes. I do think they're running a monopoly on the whole situation. Okay, the college programs and shit like that. Do I think that they should lift the rule like they're talking about doing and allow players to go to the NBA right after high school? Sure, why not? Why not? Because, I mean, I just expect some common sense to be used. Not everybody is ready for the NBA at 18. Let's just be honest, okay? But if they are, should they have the opportunity to see? Yes, as long as they're not penalized. And if they don't get drafted, they can still go to college and all that stuff, and continue to try to get better and still have another shot down the line. I think that that's completely fair and reasonable. But if you are going to be in college, if you are going to go to college, if you are in college, these are what the rules are now. You're playing basketball, right? And yes, it happens every now and then, but you can't live your life scared where you're scared of injury and you're like, it's going to completely destroy my career. There's a symbiotic relationship between athletes and fans also. We want to see the best players in the sports that we watch, and you love playing the game and you can play it at a high level. We love watching the game at a high level and we're willing to pay for it. Okay, you know what I'm saying? So these things go hand in hand. This goes for athletes that are in the pros too, who are overly concerned with rest because they're trying to make that push later. Hey, these regular season games that are on TNT and ABC and even, you know what I'm saying, like if you good to go, if you're not like actually hurt, get your ass out there and play. Okay? Get your ass out there and play. Every game. Yeah, it's a long season. I know. I know it's a long season, man. You'll be okay. You know what you also have? Like 5 months off. After the season is over, you got like 4 or 5 months off. Okay, you get paid millions of dollars. You get 4 months off to not play basketball. You know what I'm saying? So, and still we end up seeing videos of guys still going out and hooping and playing basketball. So I don't want to hear that bullshit. We want to see the guys play. You know what I'm saying? And you should, like, the priorities got all mixed up somewhere. You're still going to get the money. The money was ballooning this entire time while players were playing. It's a new era now. You're like, oh, but there's so much money to be made now. You realize the money is there to be made because the sport blew up in a time where players were always playing. You know what I'm saying? And you're just going to lose sight of that. And to talk about wrestling players and sitting out seasons to fucking secure your status and payday. And get some nuts about you. This is where the squirrel shit comes in the title. You know what I'm saying? Your squirrel trying to get some nuts about you. Squirrel goals. You know what I'm saying? What's up with you? I don't want to hear that baby back bullshit. There's risk in everything. There's always risk. Yes, but you can't live your life like a scared little bitch, alright? And you can't live your life like a scared little bitch. Play. Let's go. Let's run it. We here. We support you. Okay? But get your ass on that field. I want you to get paid. Yes, I do want you to get paid. I do. Yes. Success, entrepreneurial, you know what I'm saying? Take control of your own life, whatever mentality you need to have in order to get paid, as long as it doesn't compromise your integrity as an athlete. Damn it. You're punishing the fans. Punishing the fans with that bullshit. We don't deserve to be punished. You know who deserves to be punished? The motherfucker that Frank Castle punished in season 2 of The Punisher. Them motherfuckers deserve to be punished. They deserved every bit of that bullshit. Okay? Look. If you didn't watch season 2 of The Punisher, then this is the part where you stop. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm going in on the rest of what I watched. I finished season 2 of The Punisher, and that shit was fucking insane. It was bananas, okay? Now, I love Marvel, okay? They're so fucking devious, underhanded. Any familiarity that you have with The Punisher, I fucked that up, familiarity you have with The Punisher, right? And you know he's dark. It's a dark type of feel. It's dark type of comic. He's a killer, you know what I'm saying? And when the first season came out, I expected a lot of the darkness, but it wasn't as dark as I thought it was going to be. It was actually kind of funny. There are lighter moments. He was still doing this thing, punishing people, but it was a little lighter and funny. I really fucking enjoyed it. It was extremely well done, and I thought that was phenomenal. Now, the second time around in season 2, I'm thinking it's going to be more of the same type of feel. But instead, they went darker on this one. The whole thing with Billy Russo and him not having his mental capacity in order, losing his shit, flipping out, and the Punisher with having to deal with Pilgrim and all that shit. Pilgrim was a bad motherfucker, boy. He was a bad motherfucker. But it was more dark. There were less laughs in season 2. It was a lot of killing and violence and, fighting. And I loved every fucking minute of it. You threw me off with the setup. You know what I'm saying? You threw me off. You got me again. But it was great. It was phenomenal because that's basically what I expect out of the Punisher anyway. In episode 12, when Billy Russo came home, or I guess it was home, he was kind of staying there at the time with the doctor, Krista Dumont. He goes back and he sees her laying there on the fucking sidewalk, thrown from the window because she was fighting Madani, which was dumb on her part. She should have tried to get away. Hey, that's a federal agent. Do you have any training to deal with to fight a federal agent? No. Okay, well then you should probably not do what you're doing. Even if you're not gonna like run, you could try to fake something. She was smart enough to know when she was in recovery that Billy didn't run up on her. And remember, Madonna's like, "Oh, he left you there laying on the sidewalk," and Doctor Dumont is like, "Well, he knew that he would be useless to me if he was caught. Well, he'll come for me later." If you're smart enough to know that, then you should have been smart enough to think that you might be able to just finesse your way out of that situation with I've been under duress type of thing. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's been against Asia Madani from the beginning anyway, like all her colleagues when it comes to Billy Russo. So it wouldn't be far fetched for them to side with the doctor if the doctor claims that Billy just kind of showed up at her house and held her at gunpoint and forced her, whatever, blah, 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 right? That might have been a way to get out of the situation instead of just attacking Agent Madani thinking that was going to go well. So what are you going to do? Now you're going to try to kill a federal officer, a federal agent, and then go on the run with Billy? You go and kill a federal agent, they are going to come for your old ass, no matter if they didn't agree with her and her mission at first or not. That doesn't matter to them. You killed one of theirs, they would, you know what I'm saying? Like Meek Mill said, "Kill my dog, I kill your dog. We tied even, I believe it." That's something that police officers seem to feel. If you kill one of theirs, they're coming for yours. You know what I'm saying? We know how it goes. We know how that goes. But I think I may have gotten sidetracked earlier, but that's okay. I start going off on these tangents, and one thing makes me think of another thing, and now all of a sudden I'm all over the place. Um, Agent Madani. Yes. Okay, so when Billy went up there in episode 12, after seeing Dr. Dumont on the ground, and he engages with Madani, that was funny. Those apartments to me are interesting with the two doors to get in the same apartment and the hallway. They're like kind of right next to each other. It's a very interesting design, but they obviously exist. Um, at the end of the episode, obviously, it looked like she was dead. Like he choked her out. And no, I was at work too. I was on my lunch break watching that on my phone. But I only had time for one episode, so I couldn't go immediately to the next episode to see what was going on, if she was going to get up or not. But I know I was like losing my shit. Like, she better fucking get up. I know. Mm-mm. That is Agent Madani. Agent Madani. I know that she's made some missteps, okay? But that's Agent. She better not have been dead. That would have been I'd have been so freaking pissed, okay? Even no, especially knowing that they're gonna cancel it. They're about to pull the shows from Netflix. Knowing that they're about to cancel the Punisher and shit. No, no, she got just let her ride off into the sunset. Yeah, all right, don't kill her. I don't want that because there's not going to be anything to pick me up afterward. You know what I'm saying? Somebody new you maybe introduced that I latch on to and I fuck with like that. There wasn't going to be that, so I didn't. No, don't do Agent Madonna like that. Don't do me. Don't do me. That's not cool. I don't fuck with that. Now I love chaos. We love chaos. That's why we watch football, you know what I'm saying, and boxing, and why there's a fight out in the streets. People stop and watch, or there's an accident on the road, and people slow down and they can't help but fucking stare because people love chaos. But there was enough chaos in The Punisher. I didn't need Madani's death, and I'm glad that they didn't kill her. Appreciate that. Mahoney, he was a bigger part in this one. That he was hilarious. He was funny the entire time, and just trying to stay on that righteous path with the balancing act of the goddamn relationship with the FBI, because there's only so much you can do sometimes. You know what I'm saying, with those federal agents, if you're on the city cop level, and then trying to do his job. Frank, he's a murderer, and McDonough's like, is he? Kinda. Sometimes it's not that bad. He's not that bad. That dynamic the entire season was great. It was hilarious. It was entertaining. When Billy did die, I'm glad that it went down the way it did. I'm glad that it went down the way it did. He called Curtis, and I surely thought Curtis was going to go. I thought Curtis was going to show up there, and I thought he was going to fuck around and hold his hand and be nice to him and shit. And at the same time, the fact that Billy doesn't remember anything that he fucking did, does that excuse him? Should you forgive him? What if he remembers? What if he just remembered one day? Would he say anything? Would you? Because you would at that point still have the memories that you accumulated after you recovered, right? So you had been back with these people, and they were nice to you and all that shit, even though you had did that shit to them that you did. Like, I'm just playing out this scenario in my head. Say that instead they believed that he was fucked up in the head and didn't remember anything, and they took sympathy, upon him, and so they were nice to him, and they welcomed him back into their little circle of friendship and shit like that. What if he remembered later on everything that happened, everything that he did, everything Frank did to him? What happens at that point? Can you trust that he's not going to do some bullshit? That he's not going to do some? Can you trust that? Do you take that chance? Maybe at that point he's like, shit, I remember all this shit now, but these motherfuckers have been nice to me regardless. Maybe I shouldn't say anything, or maybe I should say something, just let them know that I remember, but we gonna try to keep it moving. And but if he does remember at that point, are you still inclined to keep giving him the sympathy that you've been showing him, or would you flip the script? I don't know. I don't know. These are questions that need answers, right? What do you think? What do you think? You tell me. Drop your opinions in the comment section below. It's been fun, per usual. You already know how we get down. I loved this one. As you can tell, it had me going a little bit, because I felt like I went off on a couple of tangents on this one. But regardless, I had a good time, and I hope you did too. I'll see you again next week for another pod with SNS. You already know what to do when it comes to the follows, the likes, the subscribes. You know what I'm saying? How to contact me on social media. It's all in the description. All right? Sports and spoilers. Holla at your boy.
Rap Diablo.
Deuce.
Macho when I drop flows. The bar gets raised up. It's me and Petey Pablo.
Oh, you motherfucker, you.